Getting some microphone cable noise on your end.
Okay. Okay. All right. How's that?
Anything? Try it again. Say something again.
Mike.
That's better.
Do you hear anything?
Okay.
Anything?
I don't hear any cable noise right now.
All right. Okay. Have you ever wanted to be a Mandalorian, but also be a Jedi, and also like a small Asian woman?
No, I can say I've.
Well,
never
I've got
wanted
a
to
show for you, buddy. So Ahsoka, episodes 1 and 2 came out. Both episodes came out.
Yep.
The first episode was entitled
Star Wars. No.
The first episode was called what? What was the first episode?
A New Hope.
No. I mean the episode of this one.
It was
Master
called...
and Apprentice. The second episode was titled Toil and Trouble. You can watch both episodes right now on Disney Plus. They're right there. Right. And we've been talking about why Secret Invasion didn't have a good like production value. It felt like there wasn't a lot of people there. It felt like it didn't have any like money behind it. We know for a fact now that Star Wars is taking all of Disney Plus's money and they are sucking it up like a vacuum. Yes, dude. The production value of these Star Wars episodes are really good. Like what? You don't think so?
There were lots of like what looked to me like obvious green screen. Scenes.
Well, everything's green screen now. We don't.
Yeah, but it shouldn't look like it, And this looked like it.
The green screen work of this looked better than anything they've done for anything else.
I guess. I don't know.
It looked really good.
It doesn't look like a movie. It doesn't look like a movie.
It's not a movie. It's a TV show.
I know it's a TV show.
I thought it was good.
They're spending movie money on a lot of these things.
I thought it was good. I thought it looked great. But first, let's do our recap. Are you ready?
Yeah. Let's do the recap.
So we have a Republic ship that gets a signal from a Jedi ship, and this takes place right after.
I like their outfits. Their outfits look like TV Star Wars outfits.
Yeah,
they don't look like movie Star Wars. They do
outfits, look a little shit. And this takes place.
But I like that. I dug it.
This takes place right after Mandalorian, and so it's around the same time as the Mandalorian, which takes place well after Star Wars, not well after, but after Star Wars Return of the Jedi. So we're in post Return of the Jedi time. Luke's off somewhere doing something. We don't know what he's doing. But Ahsoka, who was Anakin Skywalker's Padawan, which is Luke Skywalker's father, she's out there doing her thing.
Darth Vader was her master.
Anakin Skywalker.
Well, before he became Darth Vader. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, it's actually Anakin Skywalker.
Right.
And so remember,
some people might be Anakin like me, and they don't really know who all these people are.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Anakin turns to. If you don't know that Anakin Skywalker turns to Darth Vader, you're not. Like, don't even listen to our podcast anymore. You have to have a certain, like...
you may have just watched the original 3 Star Wars and then be like, hey, you know what? Let me check out Ahsoka.
There's no one who's listening to this podcast who has not seen all 6 Star Wars movies. Okay? That's not even possible. The level of nerd geek in this podcast is too high.
All right, you got me. You got me. Yeah.
Now, remember, the last time we saw Ahsoka, it was 2 times we've seen Ahsoka. She was
we saw her in The Mandalorian and in the Book of Boba Fett.
What was she doing in Mandalorian?
I don't remember. Do you?
Mike, do you want to do a podcast or what, man? Huh?
Was I supposed to go back and rewatch it? I've got you here. You're the guy that remembers stuff. I don't remember stuff.
The last time we saw Ahsoka in The Mandalorian, she was fighting a woman. Her name was I forget her name. But she was looking for a map, or she's looking for General Thawne. That's what she was looking for.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And so she got some information from this woman, and the woman was arrested, and she was getting ready to go to prison or something like that. Whatever, I don't know, whatever they talk. And the character's name is Morgan Elsbeth. They actually have a pretty good fight scene. So the ship that's
in the Mandalorian, they have fight scene.
Yeah, they have fight scene. In the ship that was transporting her to Republic jail or whatever, lets the Jedi in, but then the captain's like, "You're not real Jedi," and then of course it turns out to be Sith. They don't call themselves Sith, but they do have red lightsabers. So
they have red lightsabers, so they're obviously Sith. Yep.
And like, listen, if you don't have a Jedi or at least 2 Jedis and 2 other Jedi show up, you're dead. The whole place everybody's dead. You're not going to do anything.
Right. Why would you let somebody that claims to be Jedi on your...
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I'd be like, I'd be like,
tactical error.
Yeah, I'd be like, let's calm down and let's back the fuck up. Ooh.
Why do you... First question, why do you want to see the prisoner? Is it to break them out?
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah, you can't board our ship.
Yeah, I'm like, it's almost like saying, hey, we're known terrorists that's heavily armed. We want to come into your apartment. I'm like, okay, come on in. Right. Like, what would you like? You want some tea? Hey, hang out? No. Yeah. But, I mean, the show does do a lot of plot, a lot of liberties. So we'll talk more about that.
We disguise ourselves as Jedi so we can have these lightsabers on our hips and nobody asks questions.
Yep. And so the Jedi, of course, kill everybody, take the prisoner out, and it's all done. And then we get Ahsoka, and she
Sith.
Huh? What?
The Sith.
The Sith. Who about the Sith?
You said Jedi, I think. The Sith break out the prisoner.
Yeah. Well, they're not Jedi.
Right, they're Sith.
That's what I said.
I thought you said they were Jedi.
I don't know. Anyway, Ahsoka shows up, and she has her 2 lightsabers, and she throws them into the ground. Pew! And then uses the Force to make a circle. Pew! And then she falls down. Pew! And then she spends 20 minutes trying to figure out how to open the puzzle. It's so weird. I fell asleep when she was in that room looking for that thing. I was like, what's taking you so long? It's such a weird pacing issue.
That's what a lot of people are saying about, particularly the first episode, which was directed by... drawing a blank on his name. Yeah. He's the new Star Wars guy. He's basically the new George Lucas. David. Is his name David? I'll remember anyway.
Anyway,
he directed the first episode.
The pacing was weird.
He's the showrunner for this series.
I'm not beefing on it. The show's it's got some good stuff going on.
But he in this first episode he let scenes breathe a lot.
Too much.
Say. Yeah.
Way too much. Okay.
Like when she's in that temple, looking for the map in the first place, and she's lining up all of those little things, and there's she's lining up one, and it's like, are we going to watch Rosario Dawson's facial expressions for 5 minutes while she's lining this thing up?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
And you're going to like it. You're going to really enjoy it.
Apparently.
So anyway, I saw some warrior droids come out trying to find the map, and they self-destruct.
I did think they looked cool. They looked pretty cool, especially with the cape. I don't know why droids would have a cape, but it looked cool.
Yeah, and then droids don't really need a cape.
Right.
That's a pretty good question. I didn't Ahsoka, of course, kills him. And then
when did you decide to start doing sound effects?
And then the droids blow.
Who do you think you are, Michael Winslow?
The droids blow themselves up, and then she runs. And it's kind of action packed, I guess. And then we have this map, and we gotta figure out how to open it. So she meets her friend Hera Syndulla. That's a friend, and she's from Star Wars Rebels,
played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
We've seen her before in other stuff. She's pretty cool. I guess.
She was the main female character in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Never seen that.
Oh my God.
I take it as a point of pride that I haven't seen that, actually.
No. That is a fantastic movie.
I'm not watching that movie.
We will be watching that movie in the near future.
I'm not watching
and we'll be doing a podcast about it.
I don't want to. Don't make me do it.
So we're going to.
Don't make me do it. That makes my heart hurt. It makes me want to cry.
We have to do that as soon as like Ahsoka.
Can I
after we're done with our X-Men? After we're done with our X-Men. After we're done with the X-Men series, we're going to do.
How much money can I give you not to do it?
You can pick another movie that you want to watch that we'll do. That'll be the fair trade.
Okay, that's fair. Oh, that's I win. I guess I win on that. Anyway, so she's like, so Hera's like, hey, I can't unlock this. You gotta find our friend Sabine, and she's like, eh. But then Ahsoka's like, she goes, and Sabine's like a rebel, and she's a Star Wars rebel, haha. And she's like a rebel, and she doesn't do what people tell her. But then Ahsoka says, hey, I need this map, and she's like, okay. Now this is where things get kind of aggravating. Now, Sabine's like, I want to take this map to my house and play with it here at my home. And then Ahsoka's like, no, you got to stay here because I'm a Jedi. And if Jedi show up, I can protect you. And she's like, whatever.
So, right. And she's like, the map stays here. Yeah. And Sabine's like, yeah, okay. Sure.
But then, Ahsoka turns around, and when she turns her back around, Sabine's gone. That is so irresponsible. I can't even explain it verbally enough. Hey, and
like, why would you leave?
Well, I mean, so Sabine is characterized as someone who's hot-headed.
No, I mean, Ahsoka, why would you leave the room?
Because he trusted her.
Don't trust her.
You have to. They're friends. They know each other for quite a long time.
Also, aren't you like super interested? And I don't know.
But she's known each other. They've known each other for a long time. But Sabine is just like, she's a little hot-headed, and also she's kind of mad at Ahsoka because Ahsoka used to train her, so Sabine used to be her Padawan. Now, yeah. There's some Star Wars Rebel stuff that I know some of.
They play like lots of. There's various times in these episodes where Rosario Dawson will be like looking off into the distance, and then you'll hear these lines of dialogue played from somewhere. Mm-hmm. And I have no idea what the heck they're about, but apparently it's like the
Force. It's the Force. Listen to the Force.
I thought it was like her remembering her tortured relationship with Sabine. Some
of that, but some of it's like her trying to use the Force to remember things. I think that's the storytelling beat they're trying to achieve.
Okay.
So I'm not a big Star Wars archivist. I'm not a big Star Wars historian, but I do know a little bit of Star Wars Rebels. There was a group of people called the Ghost Team or Team Ghost, maybe the Ghost Squad. And
you got me, dude.
And Ezra. So
how's your research been working out?
It's been great.
Yeah,
I haven't done much. But then this guy named Ezra was a Padawan, and I think he didn't train under Ahsoka. I think his master was Kanan Jarrus, but I could be wrong. But Ezra died fighting or trying to kill Admiral Thrawn in one of the episodes of Rebels.
As far as we know.
But apparently Thrawn's alive because the map that Sabine opens up shows that he's in a different galaxy, which is insane to me.
Intergalactic.
Yes, which I
planetary intergalactic.
Yeah, as a basic science fiction guy, I really appreciate that we're doing something extra galactic because I just kind of find that amazing. We can't even leave our star system, and we're already thinking about the other galaxies. It's kind of fun,
right?
But anyway, of course, Sabine.
It's cool stuff.
Yeah, of course, the evil Jedi apprentice shows up, and it's a fight between the evil Jedi, the evil Sith apprentice versus Sabine, who used to be a Jedi apprentice, but she hasn't done it in a while. So there was a start,
she was never a Jedi. She was a Padawan.
She was a Padawan, correct. But there was a star, lightsaber fight. And then, Sabine got stabbed in the abdomen. But she lives. Mm-hmm. She lives. She survives. And that's the end of episode number 1.
I like this new Sith lady, the Ivana Sock.
You like her? Okay.
Yeah.
What's that mean exactly when you say you like her?
She just looks like she's just got a cool look to her. I think she's like one of the cooler looking Star Wars characters I've seen.
She looks like every other bad guy. She's pale with blonde hair. No, she
doesn't.
Yeah, they're all pale with blonde hair. They need to eat a cheeseburger. What?
Well, number one, they're bad guys, so they usually aren't girls.
But if you listen, I've watched plenty of action movies And she's a typical action movie villainess. This is how it is. So
I like it.
It's not.
I think it's a cool look.
I can't wait for her to get killed, which is going to happen.
No, she's going to survive.
You're out of your mind. No, she's not.
No, she's making it all the way through, dude.
Okay. Okay, that's not true.
She's making it all the way through.
All right. Anyway, Mike, what did you think of the episode?
I don't know what to think, to be honest with you. I've got a bad feeling about this.
That's as deep a Star Wars as we got as we're going to get. Well,
yeah, that's my deep cut. That's my Star Wars deep cut.
What's not to like, man?
I don't know. It just hasn't grabbed me. And it's given me. I was at the same spot. 2 episodes in with Secret Invasion, and it hadn't grabbed me yet. I figure if you've got 2 episodes, especially if you drop both of them on the same day, something should grab me. And nothing has yet. Like, they haven't even gotten into the story yet. They're still just doing setup.
I will say this.
How many episodes is this? It's 8 episodes? Mm-hmm. You're spending 2 of them, and the story isn't even going yet?
It's covered a lot of ground.
So we got 6 more.
There's a couple things. It's covered a lot of ground. So this first episode establishes the plot, establishes the problem. It gives us a MacGuffin that eventually becomes mute. We understand the players on the field, and we understand the objectives. So I'm not too mad about that. And also, Rosario Dawson has kind of the other episodes of when we saw her as Ahsoka. She was kind of trying to figure out who she wants to be with Ahsoka. But now we know. It's like Ahsoka has a very characteristic personality, and I kind of dig it. She's almost overly calm. It's one of those people who refuse to get ruffled. Like, even if you try to ruffle them, they're just not getting ruffled. And you just want to ruffle them as hard as you can, but you refuse. And I kind of feel like that's how she wants to play her. Like, really calm, like straight up.
Yeah, I dig that. I like characters like that.
Yeah. And it's also interesting that she's a Jedi, but not a Jedi. Like, her lightsabers are white, which kind of symbolizes like not being a Jedi, but she kind of is.
They're also really short.
Yeah, when I was watching,
and she holds her hand super close to the blade.
Yeah,
I was like, it was giving me the shivers how close she holds the lightsaber to the blade.
Yeah, I kind of like everything about like how Rosario Dawson and the stunt people that play the character Ahsoka, everything they're doing feels very heavily athletic. It feels like purposeful movements. Not overly stylized, but stylized to some point. I dig it, and I like the way that what they're kind of aiming at. They have a philosophy around Ahsoka, and they've nailed it before we've seen anything, which I like.
I got 2 big beefs with this first episode.
Go for it.
All right. Hu Yang, the robot, Ahsoka's robot, voiced by David Tennant. Do you know who David Tennant is? Huh?
Yeah, he did. He did some nerd show. What was it? what nerd?
He's my favorite Doctor Who.
Yeah, that's
my favorite Doctor Who.
That's it. What's wrong with him?
You can't tell it's him.
Okay.
He's doing a voice, and then they're like doing robot stuff on top of him doing a voice. So I just feel like, I would love to, like, if it sounded like David Tennant with some robot stuff on top, that would be super cool. But I don't get that. Yeah. I was kind of, when I saw his name in the credits, I was like, oh. And it turns out it's this robot voice that I don't even recognize as David Tennant.
Okay.
And then I can't tell if it's the character I don't like or if it's the actress I don't like. But I don't like Sabine. She's annoying.
For the first episode, I totally respect that you don't like her. It's fine.
And the second episode, everything about her is annoying.
We haven't gotten to the second episode yet, so just hang on.
But I saw it already.
For the first episode, I don't have a lot of beefs. My only concern about, and this is something interesting.
And it was a little slow. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
But 2 episodes in, I would expect something more to be happening.
Well, I'm fine with some building up. And there's 2 things the show's trying to do. One is trying to build up the story. But
I think this kind of build up would be more acceptable in a movie. I mean, clearly, it wouldn't take this long. You wouldn't spend 2 hours setting up in a movie.
No, but
like just like the percentage of the runtime, I think works better in a TV show. You need something to happen every episode.
Yeah, something did happen. We saw some good fight scenes. There were action. Things happened. Lots of stuff happened, but it just felt slow.
Disney as a whole, Disney being Marvel and Star Wars, they're overdoing this fake death thing.
Who died? Nobody died. We all knew she was going to live. We all knew she was going to make it.
Yes, but the episode ends with her being stabbed in the stomach with a lightsaber.
Listen, you're not going to get some super meta fiction where it's trying to break boundaries here. Okay, so they're just trying to make it as best they can.
I'm saying, like, coming right off of them doing the exact same thing in Secret Invasion. I don't know. It's just I'm worn out with the fake character.
Hey, I love it. If you don't like cliches, I am down. But at this point, it's hard to beat that kind of stuff out of people.
Yeah.
I don't mind the pacing of the show, even though I can see your complaints, and that's solid. And I don't mind you disliking Sabine because she didn't do anything likable. But what I'm curious about,
I'm afraid I don't like the actress, but I hope it's the character that I don't like, and I hope the character changes.
Well, we'll see. But from my perspective, what I'm curious to see is the reception from fans that love Star Wars Rebels. Because there's a huge fan base that loves Star Wars Rebels. And I want to see how they're taking it. Because these characters that they love from the show are becoming live action. And I'm really curious to see how the reception goes from the show. Because, like, it's obvious that Disney's going to make these Star Wars Rebel characters and probably make different shows for them and build on them because they have this property, might as well use it. But I'm curious to see what the fan reaction is to it.
Right.
Episode 2.
What did you think?
About what?
We heard what I thought about the first episode. What did you think?
It's fun. It's good.
It's fine. It's good. That's it.
I'd give it a B+.
Oh, yeah, we're supposed to grade things. I'm going to give it a C.
It doesn't deserve that low score. You're being hard. You're being hard on it. I do think that
you might be too optimistic.
Maybe. I think the lightsaber battles could be a little more inventive. But we'll get to that in a second. Episode 2. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Surprise, surprise, Sabine's alive.
I'm shocked.
I was oddly happy. No, it's fun. But they took a
lightsaber to the torso.
It's pretty, but
I don't know, man.
Well,
seems kind of.
Listen, Mike. I have a degree in lightsaberology, and I also was.
Now it does immediately cauterize the wound.
Yes, I was a doctor. Actually, I was a Star Wars doctor, so I've seen several wounds with lightsabers in chests, and let me tell you, it just cauterizes the wound. You'll live through it. You'll be okay. And plus, we have some modern technology. You'll be fine.
She's just missing some of her digestive tract.
That would really hurt. Like, yeah, she would probably. Yeah, they probably had to take out 5 or 6 feet worth of intestines. They had to take them out, and she
seems pretty fine in the second episode.
I mean, in reality, she's wearing a colonoscopy bag. You know, they're saying you can't eat carbs anymore. You know,
she's already pretty thin, so that's gonna be bad. Yeah.
What was I saying? Okay. Anyway, they took the map.
Do they have milkshakes in Star Wars?
Yes, of course they do.
Okay.
They took the map.
Blue milkshake.
The bad guys took the map. But then Ahsoka goes back to the scene of crime, and one of the droids, for some odd reason, was still there. So she killed it and took the head back, which is odd. And then they were able to extract memory from the dead core. Now, this is a small detail that I liked. The special effects sound made it feel like the droid helmet was very heavy. And the way the actress... Natasha Liu Bordizzo was holding the helmet made it look heavy, and I really appreciate that because it felt textural. Okay. The sound felt good. It felt, and a shout out to that one little special effects team that had to be in charge of the sound of that. It was really good. Anyway,
I do like the way that the technology in Star Wars
makes no sense.
It's very advanced. But it also seems very primitive compared to our own technology.
It's so odd. It is so odd.
Yeah, I like it, though. I like it because you never know. Like, technology could, veer off in a different direction.
She was looking at a data pad with just red lights, but she was able to figure out where it was from.
Obviously. Yeah.
It's the opposite of Star Wars tech, where Star Trek tech looks like it could actually happen and work, and Star Wars tech is like, I have a couple buttons and a knob, and I'm able to figure out how to save the world.
I love it though. I think I would like that world.
Well, you already kind of have it, don't you?
I mean, ours is different. Ours is theirs doesn't seem as addicting.
You know what it is, Mike? It's probably cheap to make. So that's the cool thing.
I mean, it definitely is. Yeah.
But I mean, and going back to when Star Wars first came out in the 1970s,
they needed it to be. Yeah.
Anyway, what's I saying? Where was I?
We were talking about decoding the location from the head of the.
Yeah, they found out where the droid came from, and it was a scrapyard that's in the Republic now. And they find out that what's her face, Morgan Elsbeth, had a factory she ran to make ships for the Empire, and that same factory is being run by Republic people now. So her and Hera, so Ahsoka and Hera go to the factory while Sabine kind of hangs out, and she's like, "Do I want to be a Padawan?"
You know what? Already, episode 2 of Ahsoka is more of a espionage type.
Then Secret Invasion. Yeah,
investigating things than Secret Invasion ever was.
That's not accident, man. They're putting all the resources in this. It's going to be better than Marvel. So let's get over it.
I've still got my fingers crossed. I hope so. It hasn't grabbed me yet. I'm hoping next episode does, and this all turns out great.
But instead of hoping that grabs you, just watch the show.
I am going to watch the show, but I want to be looking forward to it.
Allow yourself to fall in love, Mike. Allow yourself to fall. Anyway, and so Ahsoka and Hera show up there, and the owner, who is Peter Jacobson, the actor who played in House, his name is Min Reaver here. He was
He's not the owner. He's like the administrator.
But he's like, hey, I don't know what you're talking about. We have people who used to work at the Empire here, but
I'm so busy. We can't do this right now.
So anyway, newsflash, the Empire is there. So the Empire sympathizers are there. We get a couple of fight scenes. And then the Empire is building some kind of new engine, like a hyperlight engine. So let me take a pause and explain this. In the Star Wars universe, you have hyperlight engines that can be inside ships. But then you can also create a hyperlight gate that a ship can go into. No, it's a hyperlight ring that can go to hyperlight. So if you watch some Star Wars movies, if you watch the prequels, a starship can link into a hypergate. They can connect to it, and then it'll jump. And then when it gets to where you're going, you disconnect.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, I'll explain. I'm trying to explain. So anyway, they're building a big hyper engine, and then
like a Stargate,
kind of, but it doesn't open a gate. It just kind of travels, so it doesn't open the gate.
Right. Okay.
But
so it's like a boost, like a Mario Kart boost.
Yeah. So anyway, the Empire is built. So the evil Empire remnants are building it, and then so they're trying to take it away. And Ahsoka jumps out really dramatically with her lightsabers, and she falls down, and she's running, and then she faces one of the Empire remnant Sith disciples. And he has his light blade out, his lightsaber out, and he has a droid with them.
It's very mysterious.
It's a fight scene. I thought it was pretty good. Hera ends up chasing the ship that's getting away with the hyperdrive. She tags it. And then it's a really cool scene where the bad guy throws his lightsaber at Ahsoka.
Apparently that droid is named Chopper.
The droid's dead. Got chopped up. Pretty good.
No. The droid that placed the tracker on that ship.
Oh, yeah, he's funny.
Yeah, apparently he's named Chopper and everybody loves him. He's from
the Rebels
cartoons.
Yeah, he's really fun. It's really good. I liked it. I mean, once you look at him, you can tell he's from the cartoon. Anyway,
I didn't really like the whole.
It was fun.
The whole droid being I want my droids to be all about business.
Well, when you get droids,
like R2D2 was. R2D2, he'd beep and stuff, but he'd do what he needed to do.
You can have fun. I'm going to have a fun droid that doesn't care about anything. He's drunk half the time. He kind of bumps around stuff. I don't care. My droid's going to get on people's nerves.
Right?
Like my droid does it again. Anyway, so there's a cool fight scene. So she ducks when he throws it, and then the bad lightsaber dude gets in the ship with the other bad lightsaber dude, and he summons his lightsaber back. And like, this is the smoothest thing I've ever seen. Ahsoka knows the lightsaber is coming back to him, so she just mildly turns her body just enough for it to dodge. It's like she's like, I'm Ahsoka. I don't care. Here's back your lightsaber. I'll get you. And like it was like Rosie Dawson is nailing Ahsoka. Like no one else is going to be able to play her again. She really nails it really good. And then we see a scene where
Sabine... Is Ahsoka a better Jedi than...
We're not going to do this. We're not going to do this.
Than Luke
We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. We're going to keep talking about it.
I guess we'll find out if we keep watching this show.
Don't judge people. Just live your life. Sabine cuts off her hair, which is symbolic.
You with the power levels from freaking Marvel, you can't...
Oh, that's different. So Sabine cuts her hair off, which is called... It's Shintoism. Listen to the show notes. So
Shintoism is an entire religion.
Yeah. So she cuts. So I don't know if she buys into it.
You're saying that's a ritual for Shintoism.
Yeah, it's a ritual. I'm sorry. It's a ritual.
Yeah, it's not. There's not an entire religion formed around cutting your hair.
But cutting your hair symbolizes purification and change. So she cuts her hair off and she puts on her Mandalorian gear because she's a Mandalorian. And now she's ready to become a...
She's not wearing a helmet yet, though.
No, she's not. She's not wearing helmet Mandalorian. She's a regular, normal Mandalorian. Right. But even though that doesn't matter. And she says, I'm ready. And so her and Ahsoka take off. And Ahsoka calls her Padawan. So she has an apprentice. And they go, take off.
Well, you know what that means.
What?
That means Ahsoka is a Jedi once again.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess so.
You can't have a Padawan if you're not a Jedi.
That's true. And then... we get a scene where they're building this massive hyper ring. It's huge. And that's probably going to be used to go to the other galaxy.
So that's what they were building. They were building a jump pad to get to
the other galaxy.
The other galaxy that has Thrawn.
Yep. And then the bad guys say a bunch of stuff, and that's it.
The bad guys say lots of stuff. Mm-hmm. One of the things, that I thought was pretty cool is one of the things the bad guy says is, the Asian bad lady was talking about how Ahsoka's getting in the way, and then the Sith dude's like, it'd be a shame to kill Ahsoka because there's so few Jedi left, and the lady's like, oh, you're so sentimental. He's like, yep. So I thought that was kind of cool.
He was a former Jedi, so that's going to be made clear later, of course.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah, they had a whole conversation about his lightsaber. Did you see that scene?
I didn't know whose lightsaber they were talking about. Well, explain that one. What were they talking about? There was a
scene with Ahsoka and Huyang where they were looking at a scan of the evil lightsabers.
Yeah. They had that video, and they zoomed in on the two lightsabers.
And he said, "This lightsaber."
They recognized one of them. Like,
and he gave a guy.
I saw all the Jedis putting their lightsabers together.
Yeah, and this guy's name, Balan Skull. He's the only person who's ever made this. That's him. That's how they know.
And then the other one, I don't know who made this lightsaber.
Yeah, so that's his princess because she made it. There you go. Mike, what did you think of this?
He was a Jedi. Okay, that's. I didn't connect those dots. Okay,
what did you think of the second episode?
I'm still not grabbed. I'm not grabbed. It's it moved a little bit better than the first episode. So I guess the direction was better in my mind, or the editing.
Mm-hmm. I will say this:
I still don't like Sabine.
That's fine.
She's still annoying. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, she's a really good actress, but I'm not seeing her being a really good actress in this show so far.
That's harsh. That's pretty rough.
Do you think she's doing a good job? The Green Lady?
I think that Mary Elizabeth Winstead is doing a pretty good job, but she doesn't have a lot of meat to chew on yet.
Now, I will say, most of the time you're seeing her as a hologram. Mm. So maybe she's doing a good job because her acting feels disconnected, and it's supposed to feel disconnected because she's a hologram.
Well, this is.
I don't know.
It's hard. It's hard, Mike, because they're trying to base their acting off of characters who already exist in Star Wars Rebels, so it's going to be kind of difficult for them. It's not going to be easy. Mm-hmm. But I think they're doing pretty good. I don't mind it at all, and I think just based off the second, I'm looking forward to watching the rest of Ahsoka. Like, I don't say that often. There's been some shows that we've had to watch and some movies we've had to watch where I just dread it. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is definitely one of those that
what?
I can't just don't. And you you did the same thing. You've watched some of the podcast stuff we had to do. You just didn't want to do it. Come on. Please, tell the truth.
Definitely Secret Invasion.
Yeah, tell the truth. But this one, I feel good. I feel excited. I feel like every Wednesday or Thursday, Wednesday. I'm going to tune in. I'm excited. I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to go.
Every Tuesday. I
am not willing to watch old Star Wars Rebels stuff, guys. And like before you start yelling at
there's so much.
Before you start yelling at your iPhone, I want to explain to you. I only have a limited amount of time in the day. And No Man's Sky just had a massive update. I have to play that. Destiny 2 just had a big update. I gotta do that. I got to get ready for a new semester of teaching.
Oh, man.
I'm married.
Something new's happening in Fortnite tomorrow.
I got to cook dinner, right? And also, I really want to watch Inception again for some weird reason. So I don't have a lot of time. Okay.
Yeah.
And plus, I need at least an hour or two just to
there's so many episodes. I just
want to sit and stare at a wall, okay? And I'm going to work my due diligence to just do the best I can to catch up with other stuff, but just be
keep watching those YouTube videos.
If you're listening to this and you want to be a special guest on the Super Sideshow podcast as our resident Star Wars expert,
and you've got like the podcasting equipment,
and you have a mic, and you have a computer, and you have the internet, contact us. We would love to have you on the show. We are going to find someone that knows all about this stuff.
Well, we're going to try to find someone.
We're going to do it. We're going to find someone. And we're going to have a podcast dedicated to teaching us about things we don't know about Star Wars.
All right, yeah. Right.
But, even if you don't like Star Wars and haven't watched a lot of stuff, and this is a good show because it's based also off Star Wars Rebels, but also based off of what you know from The Mandalorian. So it's really good. If you watch The Mandalorian, then you can watch this and you'll feel fine. You're good. You're good to go.
Yeah, but you don't need to I loved Andor, and I don't remember that much about Rogue One. I don't need to remember that much about Rogue One. I just watched Andor, and Andor is great.
You're not wrong, but where I come from, I feel like if you want to look at this as a widening of the Star Wars universe, if you have some background knowledge, you go enjoy it more. Like, come on,
sure, yeah,
Mike. But
it shouldn't be a requirement that you've watched the entirety of Rebels in order to enjoy this.
100%. And Mike,
if so, they would really be narrowing their audience.
Yeah,
big time.
But Mike, the Mandalorian is going to show up. Like Din Djarin.
No, he's not going to show up in here.
Oh my God, dude! Yes, he is.
No.
Okay, he won't show up.
If that happens, that's going to feel. Well, maybe they can work it in a great way, but
which they can.
It would feel cheap to me.
Or some Mandalorian stuff's going to make its way in. It's just going to do that.
Some Mandalorian stuff, but having Mando drop in.
But Bo-Katan was in Star Wars Rebels, so we already have a way in. And
I did not know that.
I got a cool little tidbit. Sabine Wren trained with the dark saber and used it for a limited amount of time.
Ah, okay.
All right, so this.
You know what I was thinking for a while that maybe Sabine Wren was Bo-Katan's sister, but I guess not.
No, but there's a lot of stuff from Ahsoka that has Mandalorian stuff. There's a lot of stuff with the Mandalorians with Ahsoka, so you're going to see more of that.
Okay.
That's it. That's all. That's our recap of the episodes.
We gotta grade it. Second episode.
I gave episode 2 an A, man. I love it.
No, I give it a B. All right.
You're hard to please, man.
I'm coming off a Secret Invasion, man.
What do you want?
I'm broken. I'm a broken man.
Don't let the hurt of the past be the hurt of the future, Mike. Okay, I'm over it.
Have you healed? You've healed now from Secret Invasion?
You can't heal if you're constantly hurt, so don't worry about it. I'll be fine.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, we're going to do episodes for all the Ahsokas.
Yeah. What's up next? More Ahsoka.
More Ahsoka, baby, hitting it up. We're going to do it. I promise you, I will sit in my bed and watch YouTube videos about Ahsoka to learn more.
Yeah, you know that the actress that plays the Sith girl.
Yeah.
Her last name is almost an anagram for Ahsoka.
Oh, interesting. That's a thing I didn't really need to know, but I appreciate you telling me. I appreciate that.
She needs another A. She needs another A in her name.
Okay, all right. I have a couple of news you can abuse. You ready?
Okay, yeah, I'm ready.
You sure?
I've been saying what a lot in this episode, I think.
I haven't noticed it at all, man.
I am ready.
I say interesting quite a bit. I try to stop.
I say that a lot, too.
Yeah. What's another word for interesting?
It's interesting that we both say that.
Yeah. So there's a rumor that Nicolas Cage, who played Ghost Rider in 2 movies, will return as Johnny Blaze in an upcoming MCU project.
Who is Johnny Blaze?
He is Ghost Rider. He is the original Ghost Rider. Johnny Blaze trades his soul in to the devil to become a great stuntman, but in return, he has the soul of the ghost of the spirit of vengeance. I'm sorry, and he has to spend his time on a flaming motorcycle with a flaming skull helmet, killing people that are bad guys. It's pretty awesome.
Is the upcoming MCU project Deadpool 3?
I would almost bet you $1,000 it could be. That would be kind of fun.
That would make sense.
Yeah, that would be kind of fun. I can see Deadpool doing some funny stuff like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean,
and I will get to see it, and you will not.
Yeah. Well, that's true. You know what? I'll go see Deadpool 3. I don't care. Whatever. I'll do it.
1 and 2 have been good movies.
I'll go. I don't know about that, but I'll do it. But listeners, please remember that nothing's getting filmed right now. Nothing. That's right. So every time you hear a rumor and stuff, it's going to have to wait until it's resolved. And every day, the longer this takes, the less you're getting stuff. So, right. I mean, hey, you know what, Mike? You know what would be a good idea for a podcast?
What's that?
Shows that people should watch because there's nothing else to watch. Because there's nothing coming out.
I mean, that's what this podcast is going to turn into.
Yeah, it's going to turn into. That's hilarious. That's funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, I like the idea of Nicolas Cage coming back as Ghost Rider. I think his Ghost Rider movies were terrible. I think Ghost Rider...
they weren't good.
Ghost Rider is an awesome character, though, so I'm really curious to see what they do. Really fun. And, of course, there has been no more cutbacks. We don't know exactly what the cutbacks are, but Disney has announced major cutbacks of movies because probably the writer's strike and the actor's strike. So... I'm not getting worried about this, Mike, but I'm getting kind of worried.
What do you mean worried?
Next year, we're not going to have nothing, dude. It's going to be entertainment desert. Like, I don't know what we're going to do. It's going to be crazy. Not just us, not the podcast. I don't care about that. We have tons of stuff that we can watch and tons of things we can go. We have tons of things to do. We've got podcasts that we could do for another 2 years if we had to.
Do you think they're going to cancel these sagas that they're supposed to be working up towards, the multiverse saga?
I would. If you listen to our last podcast, we talked about how they can fix the MCU.
Right.
This would be...
Deadpool needs to kill everybody.
If I was an MC exec and we were talking about next steps after the strike was over, I would be like, let's go bold. Let's completely throw everything we had away. Everything that's not in either pre-production, right, or is not, or everything that's slated to start. Scrap it. So everything that's started, we finish. Everything that's not started yet, scrap it, and let's go for it. It's like that feeling when you go into your closet and you take everything out of your closet. And you witness
a new Thor movie with Chris Hemsworth.
I don't want that. And you really you see the dirt.
He wants a new feel for the new Thor movie. They could do an awesome Thor movie with like really get into the Norse mythology. Thor movie.
Yeah.
Have some cool villain that he's fighting that's totally disconnected from like Avengers or whatever. That could be a great Thor movie.
It was supposed to be Thor: Love and Thunder because Gore was supposed to be that character, and they didn't do it right. So that's.
I mean, you could redo it, or you could do Star Tour again.
No, well, anyway, we'll see what happens.
Frost Giants.
We'll see.
There you go. Boom.
Hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, that Disney won't contact Mike for movie ideas.
Thor versus the Frost Giants. That's the title right there.
No. Actually,
don't tell me if the title is Thor versus. Yeah, you're going to go see that. Everybody's going to go see that.
But the thing is, there's a whole storyline where that happens with the Mighty Thor, with the Jane Foster Thor, but they didn't. Whatever. Anyway,
okay.
That's Ahsoka episodes 1 and 2. I highly recommend you guys watch it. If you haven't watched it yet, and I'm really curious to see how this goes. I'm pretty excited. I like Star Wars. I don't love Star Wars. I love Star Trek.
It's hard to love. It's hard to love Star Wars after the prequels. At least for me. Anyway.
I agree with that. I agree with that statement. Mike, how can people share this barely functional Star Wars podcast with their friends so they get frustrated?
No, this is a great Star Wars podcast. It's a great Star Wars podcast. I mean, I think that you and I are like kind of hardcore, diehard Star Wars, original gangsters. You know what I mean?
How about that?
Like we grew up with Star Wars.
We're
not like Johnny Come Latelys. Yeah, we're OG.
OG.
I had Ewok toys when I was growing up.
Dude, episode 3, The New Hope came out the year I was born. So there you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
So yeah, if you want
episode 4.
Yeah, you're right. So ladies and gentlemen, if you want to share this with your friends and family, just hit the share button on your phone right now, or if you're in the
hit the share button.
If you're in the car, pull over,
drop it in the group chat.
Share it to the group chat. If you have a shared community and you have a message board, just put out a link to a podcast in your message board so people.
If you're in a crowded restaurant, airdrop that.
Airdrop it like you would if you're on. Do that.
Don't do that. Don't listen to Jarvis.
No,
don't do that.
Don't do that. Matter of fact, it's probably going to get edited out, which is funny. But anyway, like, subscribe, and also if you really want to, hit up our Patreon. Give us a couple $. Give us $5. Yeah. We're getting really rich from this thing. Like,
if you heard headphone cable noise from Jay during this, it's his fault.
Yeah,
drop some $. In that Patreon so we can get rid of that.
I get a better mic stand because this one's shaky. That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
I would really appreciate that. All right, next week more Ahsoka.